I know Micron's one of the most biggest things is come to Liverpool. I mean, my dad, I know personally, he talked about it before he was even announced. That might be me personally, because I do have a business family.
Yeah.
And he was like, you don't understand how big this is going to be.
Sure.
You don't know like what's going to happen if this comes. And when it was finally announced, it was like a shock. Then it was even more a shock that Biden came here until like come to OCC of all things. You think go to Syracuse,
that's right,
come to law school.
Yep.
And you just announced like collaborating with the most, and here at Liverpool High School, which is something unheard of for most corporations to do with communities outside.
Yeah.
I mean, is there any other collaborations you guys are looking into with any other companies or anything?
We're open to collaborate with anybody, right? Like we believe in collaborating with folks in the community, and we're really excited to work with students. But in terms of other organizations, we're looking to collaborate here with Liverpool Central School District. We want to partner with North Syracuse School District, Syracuse City School District, East Manoa. We just want to be a collaborator and kind of an accelerator of collaboration across the region. We're open to partner with other companies. Like we'd love to have other companies involved with our work. And for us, it's not just about semiconductors, but it's about supporting the community.
Oh, definitely. And that's one of the most biggest things, I feel like. And I feel like Micron's already doing such a good job with it.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And so you just announced that a chip plant is like a chip campus coming here for students in Liverpool in the next few years. Explain how that works.
Few months.
A few
like
months?
We're doing chip. No, we're doing Chip Camp in 2023 here in Liverpool. We're excited about it. I have no idea what it looks like, but we are experts at standing up things from scratch at Micron, both from a manufacturing perspective and a philanthropic perspective. So we're just ready. So we think that we can support 100 to 200 students. We're going to launch Girls Going Tech, a job shadow program, and we're going to do it here in Liverpool. We believe that the young people here in Liverpool are the future of Micron, the future of this community.
And do you know any ins of like what it's going to look like or anything, or what it's going to be at anything at all right now?
Yeah, like the last day of Chip Camp is going to be at the most. Where Chip Camp is here in Liverpool, have no idea. But guess what? I'm a former teacher, and we'll figure it out, right? Like, so it's just how it works. Like, we'll figure it out. Like, I don't know. Like Robert said, we're going to do Chip Camp. Cool. But where are we going to do that? Have no idea. But we can put together a committee of students, put together a committee of people from the community. Let's figure it out. Do we do it at the high school? Do we do it at, I don't know, the elementary school? Have no idea. But we're experts at doing this from scratch. We just launched Chip Camp at Norfolk State University in Norfolk, Virginia. We did that in 2 months. Not ideal. Yeah, that's right. We stood it up fast. We launched it in Atlanta in the community in about 90 days. So we're experts at working fast, even though we should be better and more thoughtful about planning. But who needs that? Let's just build the plane while we fly.
Yeah. So, I mean, Syracuse. Why Syracuse? Like, what was like the major thing to process? Like, just to put it here.
Like, Syracuse is an amazing community. Onondaga County has deep history, and there's a great alignment in the values between Micron and Onondaga County and Syracuse City. There's a belief and a commitment to people. That's important at Micron. We value people. We want great work-life balance for our employees. We want to make sure that our employees are happy, right? But we also recognize the value of hard work, right? Like Micron employees work extremely hard, and we see great alignment in the Onondaga community and Liverpool Central School District. And the other piece of it is there is a strong connection to manufacturing in this region. That's super important.
Oh, yeah.
The idea of manufacturing is not a surprise to people in this region, like, because this is part of the history of Onondaga County and Syracuse, right? And so we believe that there's just such alignment, such a connection on our values, and just a deep willingness for us to learn from each other and work together. And people in this community have been so welcoming to Micron, willing to have hard conversations about what they expect from us. And I appreciate those hard conversations, because I think that we should be held accountable for what we say we're going to do. And we also want to be a good corporate partner. Like, we don't want to be the bad corporate partner that does crazy things, and because there are stories of corporations that do that, and we're hyper aware of that. We don't want to be that corporation, which is why we're leading with community engagement. Like, literally, we're not leading with, let's just go put a shovel in the soil and start building something, and then you never hear from us. That's not our culture. That's not how we operate, both at the corporation and at the Micron Foundation. So
that is definitely a big belief, and I love that. And I'll be honest, personally, that is something that's needed. And I know, like, it was big last year when Carrier left. I know in many other manufacturing that went overseas, unfortunately, then left here. And you bringing it back is such a core thing right now.
Thank you.
And what is, like, personally, like, what is, like, you're most excited for? Like I'm most excited to work with young people, right? Like, I spend a lot of time in meetings with adults. It's just a part of my job, but sitting here talking to y'all is exciting. We're building out a youth advisory panel for the region that I would love to have this young people from Liverpool involved with. And that excites me a lot. It's just connecting with young people. And I, quite frankly, I actually don't care if young people work at Micron. What I care most about is, yes, if they work at Micron, cool, that's fine. I want young people to be excited about education, excited about STEM, and what STEM can teach us about life, right? And so you can take STEM and do well in STEM and never work in STEM. But the principles that you acquire from a STEM education is so amazing, right? And it helps inform. For, like, all your life.
That's right, all your life. And so that's super important to me.
Oh, definitely. And so people might wonder, like, what is your role at Micron? What's your job title? What are you doing, you know?
I'm the head of social impact and STEM programs, and so I lead up all of our no-cost STEM programs across all of North America. I also lead our social impact work at the Micron Foundation for all of North America. So big job, lots of responsibility. I have a team of folks that report to me, but I always say to folks, I don't know how much they report to me as opposed to I work with them and learn from them. And so that's my role at Micron.
All right. What opportunities are you, like, looking forward to in Micron being here? Like, what is this?
I can't wait for the first chip camp in Liverpool. Right, like that's one thing that I'm really excited for, but I'm also excited for the first people to actually get jobs at Micron in this community, and for that first paycheck to come, and really ensure that everyone has access to the type of jobs that Micron has available.
Is there anybody you're looking for specifically to, like, apply to Micron or anything? It is.
I want people from this community to be at the front of the line, right? I want people from this community who have been here for a long time to be at the front of the line and applying for jobs at Micron. It's important that we source talent in this community. It's important that we recruit talent from this community. It's important that we bring folks from Syracuse who live outside of Syracuse and have moved out of New York. It's important that we bring them back to Syracuse. And I believe that that's where we should be starting. But look, like, the reality of it is that there are going to be new people who move into this community from other parts of the country who apply for jobs here. And the reality of it is I have found this community to be so welcoming for people who aren't from here, who would be considered outsiders. And I think that Syracuse and Onondaga County are great places to live, and wonderful opportunities for people to grow and live out their dreams.
Well, that is very impactful for somebody. I've lived here all my life. I mean, that is very special to near and dear to anybody that lives in this area, because people assume it as a very small town. Like, we got our little city. It's not like New York City. We're forgotten about a little.
Yep.
So, What would you say to those who are hesitant, maybe about this collaboration? Like,
Yeah, I mean, I think that it's fair to be hesitant, right? I think that, when a corporation our size shows up in a community, it can make people nervous, right? It can make people nervous about the traffic, right? It can make people nervous about the cost of living. It can make people nervous about all sorts of things. And I think that for me, I think that skepticism is healthy. I think that skepticism is normal. And I receive that skepticism, and I welcome that feedback because I think it makes us better. And I'm committed to making sure that Micron is a good community partner. We don't intend on just showing up and dropping an anchor down and putting a building up and then people don't hear from us anymore. That's not our history, that's not our culture. But I also, because of that, I want to be accessible for people to share their skepticism, right? Push back and say, well, what is your plan for X, Y, and Z? Are you really going to invest money in schools and in communities? Because as I always say to folks, I can show you better than I can tell you. And as someone who's a former teacher, I'm like, look, I can show you what our commitment is by setting up Chip Camp here in Liverpool. I can tell you about it, but by putting together a group of people, and we were just talking at lunch about what the plan is, that's where we start.
That is very big. And like you're also showing virtual reality, and I remember those robots you guys were making out of just like toilet paper rolls.
Yeah.
So like, what is that? Like, to somebody that doesn't know or wasn't here
Our goal with the virtual reality is to make sure that people can see inside of one of our fabs, right? Because we don't often let people in who don't work at Micron. We want people to experience what happens inside of a facility like we'll have here in Clay. The Wigglebots is just an example of how we teach kids around engineering design process, right? It's important for young people to know the engineering design process, not just so they can work at Micron, but so they understand how to solve difficult problems in their lives. The engineering design process allows young people to fail. It allows them to win, it allows them to succeed, and it allows them to do things that are significantly impactful in their lives and in the community.
And for people that, obviously there's going to be many people that aren't going to tour the labs or anything, how would you describe the labs? Because I know personally I would want to know what they look like, and it's just out of curiosity.
They are big operating rooms for technology. They're super clean. They have a lot of stuff going on in them. But I would describe the clean room as there's a lot going on, like a bunch of things kind of moving and all sorts of things. But I think that it is an amazingly dynamic environment.
And we know you want to invest in engineering and tech workforce. What are your plans to invest in the rest of the district at all with Liverpool?
I mean, I think that before we decide what we would invest in outside of engineering, it's important to talk to the community, right? To understand what are those things that are needed. Because again, context is important. Like there may be things that are important here that aren't important in North Syracuse, in Cleveland, in Idaho, in Detroit, in wherever we're at. And it's important beyond engineering to make sure that we're having conversations with people in the community about what are the things that you think we should be supporting. I don't know, like it could be a junior standing behind a camera and building out a new film studio here at the high school. I have no idea, but I need to know, and I need somebody to tell me that because there is actually engineering involved with video production. So I think getting really broad, but also bringing in the community to solve some of those challenges that I think are important.
All right, and I'm pretty sure we're all good. Thank you so much for
Absolutely.
allowing us
Thank
to
you
do
so
that.
much. Thank you so much. Absolutely.